morning everyone, I'm Stephanie Kakris and welcome to day 9 of my 20-part Manifesting 101 Law of Attraction series. Yesterday here in Australia I don't know if celebrate's the right word, but we had our Anzac Day public holiday, and every year on Anzac Day it's a day when the public come out and pay tribute to the servicemen and women and other people in our community that served in a variety of different wars and in peacekeeping missions. And it's a very powerful day in our culture in Australia, and it got me thinking about tragedy and trauma and how the sacrifices that people made with an intention of protecting our country and protecting our freedom and protecting our livelihoods. It's just really makes us, when we reflect on that sacrifice and that trauma that happened and continues to happen, is when we also really appreciate the peace and freedom that we do enjoy in this country. When we're talking about manifesting, it's really important to understand the law of contrast. No one's lives are going to be all joy and happiness and good times from go to woe. It's just not the way that we work. And I'm a personal believer in the importance of tragedy and difficult events in our lives that actually help us to grow, and they help us to find strength that we didn't know we had, and they also make the good times feel even better. And that was really noted in every Anzac Day. I really notice how much we appreciate what we have when we reflect on what sacrifices people made and the trauma that people have gone through. Trauma and tragedy can also trigger emotions that can lead to a really strong desire and determination to find the strength to do something different with our lives. And it's the 20-year anniversary of the Port Arthur massacre, and it made me think about the Walter Mikac and his success with the Alana and Madeline Foundation. His 2 daughters were killed in the Port Arthur massacre, and from that tragedy he used his negative emotions, so to speak, to drive a desire to make a difference and to make something out of his tragedy. And he's quoted on the Alana and Madeline Foundation, which helps children, protect them from abuse, and helps children who have been victims of abuse or bullying or any kind of attacks. And the quote that Walter Mikac said was that the foundation has helped me survive and then thrive. And it's something where he used that negative to drive his determination. I was also watching a documentary on Michelle Bridges, who's a health and fitness expert and someone who's passionate about helping people to eat healthily and get fit and look after themselves. And she was bullied badly when she was younger, and she was talking about how that bullying just fueled her desire and determination to make something of herself and to get strong and to get fit and to make a difference. So there are my initial thoughts on tragedy. Now, the other thing that tragedy and trauma can do is it can knock us down, and for some people they haven't been able to get back up, and those so-called negative emotions can continue to rage until we can move through them. And tomorrow I'm going to be talking about emotions and how we can move through them, whether they, all the different emotions, not just negative emotions, but all the emotions, and how ultimately our goal in life, in my opinion, needs to be to find peace rather than to find happiness. And I'll be talking to you more about that tomorrow. Anyone who's been through a trauma or a tragedy and they're struggling with it, I send you my love. Please get help. Call Lifeline if you're in Australia. Just Google Lifeline, and in other parts of the world, look up, help for trauma and help for tragedy, and I'm sure there'll be call centres out there where you can call and talk to someone. Please get help, and when we can get help, when we can get the right kind of help, we can turn it into something more constructive And yeah, I just wanted to finish off by saying that there's a place for trauma and tragedy, and there's a place for the ups and downs of life, just like the creek behind me, which was gushing on Friday, and we haven't had any rain over the weekend, and now it's just a mere trickle again. It's the ebbs and flows of life, just like the ebbs and flows of water in the creek behind me, all serve their purpose. So if you're going through something, you're feeling negative emotions, don't be afraid that it's going to, you know, ruin your manifesting for the rest of your life. It's not. It can be harnessed, and you know, it's all for your higher good. My personal belief is that everything that happens to us is for our higher good, even though our human body finds that difficult to understand at times, and you can definitely add me into that mix. But it's all to help us to grow and to help us to find that strength to do the next thing. So I'll say goodbye, and I'll catch you again tomorrow. Bye.